Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So here with Ali Tarnishi at Ali Dose of Inspiration, and today we have a wonderful, famous coach that's went through a lot, and she had so many experience. And her name is Fusion Reinhardt.
Fishun Reinhardt, yes,
Fusion Reinhardt.
correct.
And thank you very much for being here with us. It's my pleasure. It's my honor to have you here. Please take it from here. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Of course. Thank you very much, Ali. You are in Canada. I'm at the moment in Turkey. Originally, I'm living in the Netherlands, but I'm on vacation now. So I have received your invite for the podcast, and the subject is definitely my type of subject: the
Nice.
hope, the motivation, the mindset, the emotional healing. So these are all my genre that I'm working with since the last 14 years.
Nice.
So I have been a corporate lady. I worked always in sales in big major American companies, traveling the world. But in the last couple of years, I have realized that I have a bigger mission than sitting in corporate desks, making other people richer. And I realized that actually there are so many people out there who are looking for hope, who are looking for healing, who are looking for motivation because there is greatness in us, as Les Brown says.
Mhm,
So I always look at people as the same level with the same gifts. We have all come here with a gift.
mhm,
But until we hit the ground, we don't dare to open that package. When we are forced to open the package, then we start searching for ways to get out of our own misery
mhm.
and find our true power, true passion, and true gifts. So that's how I see everybody. And that's when I started helping people. I
Mhm.
used to be in a miserable, depressive, negative situations myself,
Mhm.
like 14 years ago, back in 2007. I had problems with work, I had problems with private life. My father has been very sick, and I didn't know how I could help him because I was also not even living in the same country. He was going through a lot of pain, and as a daughter, as one and only daughter, I was really emotionally feeling very depressed, and I wanted to get out of that misery, let's say.
Mhm.
So then I started searching for ways. This is a long story, it's a spiritual story, but eventually I discovered my healing ability, let's say. I wouldn't call a gift. Like
Mhm.
I said, I believe that we all have it. We
Mhm.
just don't know how to use it. That's why I also started teaching people how to heal people. So I help them and support them to find their own gifts. So after I discovered my own ability, I healed my father. He was paralyzed.
Mhm.
And after working together with him closely, he started walking again, which was a um, miraculous day, let's say, because you know a little bit of my daughter's story, which I will come back.
Mhm.
But my first story was my father. So that miracle has happened in front of many people's eyes. And
Mhm.
after experiencing that, I told to myself from now on, I'm not going to allow anybody to suffer. I
Mhm.
will do my best with my own capabilities and possibilities to
Mhm.
help people heal themselves. And that's how I started my journey. In the last 14 years, I trained with Tony Robbins, with Robin Sharma, with Dr. Eric Pearl from Reconnective Healing from LA, Dr. Richard Bandler, who is the founder of NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming,
Mhm.
Byron Katie, Greg Braden, Robin Sharma, so many masters on the way. I
Wow.
just wanted to improve, improve, improve to be the best I could so that I could serve the best way for the people who were in need.
Mhm.
So after being involved in this kind of business and world, I
Mhm.
thought I cannot stay in corporate anymore, which is our comfort zone. We
Mhm.
all love to be in our comfort zone because we label ourselves, we find excuses for our deeds,
Mhm.
and that place keeps us so warm that we don't want to leave,
Mhm.
although we are not satisfied or happy.
It's true.
So,
It's
yeah,
totally true. And can I ask you a question here
sure.
about what you mentioned something that's really interesting and deep. When we are comfortable with something, we are comfortable with something that is certain and known, so we get
Mhm,
comfortable in that zone. But something
mhm,
that is uncertain, we are scared of it,
mhm,
and that is the
mhm.
thing that is where our happiness is. So for those 14 years when you were with that corporate company, you were making good money and stuff like that, but you were not happy.
Correct.
What make that decision, like to say,
Yes.
okay, this is enough, I want to start something that's resonate with me, make me happy?
Yeah, actually, this is funny because whoever I'm interviewed with asks me the same question.
Hmm.
So when I was growing up, my dream was to become a businesswoman. I
Okay.
never dreamed of getting married, having kids, having a white dress, walking on the aisle, and having a beautiful wedding. The only
Hmm.
thing I dreamed of was wearing a nice suit with high heels and with a laptop bag and
Hmm.
travel the world. And
Okay.
I guess I'm good in manifesting what I want.
Wow.
So I made that happen. And I was happy that I had that
Hmm.
until I started experiencing these negative emotions and situation of my father. I realized that actually there is more than what I had.
Hmm.
So the more I discovered about myself and my abilities, that old stuff, which was the business career, which was the sales woman career,
Hmm.
started to make me not fulfilled.
Okay.
And Tony Robbins says, um, lack of fulfillment is ultimate failure. So when you are not fulfilled, actually you are failing. So
Okay.
your success, which is on the table or the money in the bank, as long as you are not fulfilled, is a failure, is not a success. So I started realizing that, and I started negotiating with myself,
Hmm.
between my comfort zone and the uncertainty part.
Hmm.
And there came a moment I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not going to sit here crying,
Hmm.
making myself the victim, be miserable, come home, making my family crazy.
Hmm.
I said, what is the worst thing? That's the key question. What is the worst thing that can happen
Hmm.
if I leave the corporate job?
Okay.
That was the question I asked to myself. And then I already knew the answer. I said, okay, I will try. If I
Hmm.
cannot succeed, I can always go and find another job,
Hmm.
better or worse or same. I can always find a job. I go and work at McDonald's if necessary.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I said, why not to try? Because they say that, I think this is Robin Sharma saying that the people, if you go to the graveyards, that's the best place where you can find people with their dreams. They
It's
all died with their dreams
true.
because they never had the courage to try it.
Hmm.
They were all scared. They were all thinking the comfort zone, we are not happy and fulfilled, but it's okay paying the bills and I have a warm bed to sleep in. So
Hmm.
they say, go and visit the graveyards.
It's true. It's true what you just said there, because a lot of
And
people think.
they
I.
die with their dreams
Hmm. Hmm. Can I
because
just
they
add?
never,
Can
yeah,
I add a little bit to that? Because I thought I heard the Mr. Brown, Les Brown mentioned that. He said the richest place on earth is the cemetery,
yeah,
because he
correct.
said it's not in the Middle East where there is the oil and petrol, and it's not
Mhm.
in Africa where there is like the gold and
Yes,
all that, but it is in the cemetery where there is people that they take some $1 million, $1 billion idea that they didn't want to share it with the
yes,
world, and it's buried under the
exactly.
ground. There is a chef that they take a recipe with them, they didn't share it. There is like artists that they didn't let that dream come out, and they take it with
Correct.
so live empty,
That's
die
correct.
empty, die empty.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And that's reality, by the way. I mean, there are so many people who are trying to have visions of it, dreaming about it, thinking, yeah, I was doing this and I wish I could quit this job and buy that property, or no, I cannot do that because I have the kids and I have that and I have that. So the longer you think, the more excuses the brain is producing.
It's true.
And our brain is always focusing on the problems rather than the solutions. So they say that if there are 10 things that is happening to you, 9 are amazing stuff, beautiful, exciting, and whatever it is, and there's only one problem that you faced out of those 10, you go and think about the problem, not the other 9 that was beautiful. So that's how the human mind works. That's why NLP is helping people to reprogram the mind so that you can shift the way you think. Because the way you think is creating a certain emotion, and those emotions are running your life. So if you are thinking about something which will go wrong, you cannot feel happy, right? You will feel sad.
Definitely.
Or you will feel upset or whatsoever. And when you are in that state, there is no way out that you can create something beautiful. But if you are thinking about something that you can achieve or successful or motivated, then you feel excited and happy, and then the mind says, okay, go, let's do something. Yeah, it's so exciting. Let's take action. You know, that's when you start changing your life.
I love
that's
that.
why I also love to help people with the emotional healings, because I say to people, we all have it. We have down times, up times, sad times, happy times. We have funerals, we have weddings, right? So this is part of life. But the most important thing is you don't stay in that sad state. So you need to know how to shift from there and go to the other side. And when I tell people that if you want to achieve something, let's check your emotional state first, because if you have experienced and brought some beliefs from your past, this can be implemented in you when you were a kid with your family, or you were bullied at school, or your relationships, or whatsoever that happened to you in the past, that leaves a mark in you. And whenever something is happening in your today's world, in the present moment, as soon as something is triggered in you, you will go back to those old memories and you will be discouraged.
Okay.
So you need to heal those emotions and make the base strong if you want to build a strong high rise on top of that.
Okay.
If the fundamental is not strong, that building will collapse.
Is that go hand in hand by healing the inner child inside of us?
This is not exactly healing the inner child. This is more about your emotions like sadness, anger, depression, or whatsoever.
Okay.
But it depends on the person. If the person is hurt from their childhood, or they cannot be joyful anymore, then I have some special techniques that I use, and I make them remember how they used to be when they were 7 or 8 years old. Because when we were at that age, we didn't have worries about mortgage. We didn't have worries about paying the bills. We didn't have worries about so many things. The only thing we knew, which toy did you buy me to play with? And I want ice cream and this and that, and being playful and laughing and playing with friends, you know. Then we start forgetting that state. We forget and we become serious. We focus on all the problems to solve, and we are just distracted from those happy moments. So the mind shift is important.
The mind shift is really important, but I like what you mentioned earlier about the 10 thing, and we focus on one thing, and we have like 9 things that's positive in our life, and there is one negative thing, and we focus on the thing, and it ruined the whole 9 thing, which is like it's our subconscious. It's just like our mind. And when we realize that, that's why like a good attitude or just being grateful, it just will clear that negativity, will make us focus. If you see someone that's positive, you will see them always like focusing on the positive, even if they have a hardship, even if they have a bad time. They said, or someone probably have it worse than me, someone probably like have it worse than
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. That was the case with my daughter's accident.
Hmm.
So when shall I tell it
Sure, yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit?
That's because our podcast today is about hope and never give up, and how we can turn our rejection to something that is redirection, to something positive. And you can share your story. That's amazing and strong story that I would like my audience to know about it.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So my daughter, I have a daughter of 23 years old who is a professional dancer.
Hmm.
So she earns her life with her dancing, with her flexibility, with her art appearance.
Hmm.
So last year, she was invited to Croatia, to Dubrovnik, for a special project to dance for a month and to prepare dancing choreography.
Hmm.
And on the third day, he met this nice looking guy. They went on a motorcycle ride and
Hmm.
they had a huge accident. And
Wow.
she was the passenger sitting in the back seat. They were on a rocky mountain cliff road, and he was taking the turn with a high speed. And
Hmm.
the motorcycle went away from their feet, from their legs, and they rolled over the rocky mountains, over that
Wow.
cliff, and they were both hospitalized.
Hmm.
So she was in intensive care in a foreign country for 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and she had 5 broken ribs,
Wow.
dented liver, internal bleeding, oversized air and water in the lungs, and some bleeding there as well. And she wasn't allowed to fly back home. So
Wow.
we were stuck. We were stuck in Dubrovnik for 2 weeks. It was high season.
Hmm.
Every day the doctors were changing, and we had to repeat the same story every single day in intensive care. All day we were waiting at the garden of the hospital to see her maybe maximum for an hour.
Hmm.
So during that time, of course, I'm the mom, she's my only child. When it happened, we were like going crazy,
Hmm.
especially that it happened in another country and the hospital conditions were very poor.
Hmm.
But every single day I was on Facebook and I was doing Facebook lives
Hmm.
and I was telling people how to be hopeful
Hmm.
in any given circumstances.
Okay.
And people were saying, you are crazy. You should be crying for your daughter. You are in front of intensive care. Instead of that, you are coming here as a strong woman telling us how to have hope, how to be motivated, and how to get along with life.
Hmm.
I said, look, it's all for us. Accidents are for everybody. It can happen. And if God has taken her away from me, I would be reacting the same way
Hmm.
because this is part of life. And sometimes you cannot control things. I said, can I rewind the time and stop that motorcycle accident? No.
Hmm.
Whatever happened, happened. Now is the time to stand even more strong because
Hmm.
you need to be strong for yourself. You need to be strong for your daughter.
Hmm.
And you are a mindset coach, you're an emotional healer. If you are doing this business, you need to know how to apply it on yourself first. You
Hmm.
need to be an example for others and
True.
encourage them
Hmm.
that things can happen. The most important thing is how you stand with it,
Hmm.
what kind of way you think. And I told them I'm thanking that guy who
Hmm.
caused the accident. I said, because we all have a complete different awareness. I have been always someone who is very faithful. I believe in God, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter.
Hmm.
And I trust the divine intelligence. I trust the divine itself.
Hmm.
And I said, if this happens, there is a reason for it. And there is a good reason for it.
Wow.
And something much better will come after this.
Hmm.
This is also shifting your belief. And it did. I was thanking the God that I was thanking the guy that he allowed me to be even more thankful to God
Hmm.
because I got the news that there was such a serious accident. But at the same time, I was saying to myself, but she's alive, she didn't die. So
Hmm.
that was already one big awareness, one big mindset change. And then I have seen her, she was in very poor conditions, but I said, she doesn't need to stay like this. She's a strong girl and she will get over this. Everybody was panicking because I said she's a professional dancer. Can she dance? Her shoulder was broken, by the way. Her arm was broken. Everything was
Wow.
broken on that side. She had a huge operation of 6.5 hours. And now she fully recovered because she's a very tough cookie.
Wow.
And she started dancing again within 1 year time.
After all that accident and everything, holy, that's
And she
faith.
decided,
That's
yes,
faith.
and
No, go ahead.
she decided to study psychology, and now she's studying psychology.
Wow.
And before the accident, she didn't know what to study again. So things happen for a reason, and sometimes you need to trust the process. Because sometimes maybe you laugh at this, and I tell this to many people. I say, people think there's a fairy with a stick in her hands, and as soon as she touches you, the whole world becomes pink and everything is 180 degrees changed. There is no such stick. Whatever you do, you have to do it yourself, and you do it with this. As long as you don't change the way you think, you will get stuck in the same place, just dreaming and saying, what if, what if, what if.
It's all here.
That's how I changed.
Wow, like it's so strong. Like a mother who saw her daughter in that situation, and you still keep hoping, and you knew that something will happen, that something good coming out of this. That's really like strong faith. And that's like I think was it Les Brown who said a faith that's not tasted. If you are not tested in your faith, that's not a strong faith. So God sent you that accident to see how strong you are. And even your daughter was strong, and she didn't say, yes, my shoulder is broken, I can't. She carry on, and she did what she wanted to do, and now she wants to go finish her study in psychology so she can help others.
Yes, absolutely.
That's an amazing story of hope. That's an amazing story of bouncing back. Because life, if it hit you hard, don't stay there. If things go wrong, don't go with it. Just come out of it as a victorious, not as a victim.
If you fail, just roll around and watch the stars.
There we go. If you fall on your back, so you can see, so you can stand up. That's amazing. That's really amazing. That's I love this story. That's a story represent hope in itself. Represent that's never give up. Unsinkable. Unsinkable. Don't sink in the ocean of life. That's throw everything that's bad, that's obstacle. But God sometimes send us obstacle. God chooses us to send us
on purpose. On purpose.
So we just tell us, hey, wake up, you are going the wrong direction. Maybe you should change this. Maybe go this direction. And it's true.
Yeah, I mean, very simple example. In Holland, in the Netherlands, most of the time it's raining. And people complain it's raining. I go to Miami every year, and I always tell the people there, God, you guys are so lucky. You have sunshine every day. And then they say, no, we are not lucky. You are lucky because you have 4 seasons. You know, everybody wants what they don't have.
So it's not greener on the other side of the fence. It's green where you water it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you guys get a lot of rain. That's why you have a lot of flower in Netherlands.
Yes, lots of green.
Lot of green. And that's amazing. It's beautiful. And sometimes we just don't appreciate what we have.
Exactly. And the more you appreciate, the more you are rewarded.
That's true.
I have experienced this as well many times.
Even in the Holy Quran, you know, in Islam, in the religion, they said, when you appreciate what you have and you thank God for what you have, you will get more from what He's giving you. But but people, they feel miserable, and they are unthankful. They are just like, they take thank for granted, and they said, oh, I want more, I want more. But are you happy with the thing that you have first before you have more? So they don't even appreciate that what they have now. How can you appreciate what you will get in the future? So that's the mentality.
Yes, correct.
Because gratitude make people happy. It's not happiness that make people grateful. And some people will say, I will wait till I am happy, then I will be grateful. No, just be grateful with what you have, and they will be
And
good.
they always search for it in an external world, whereby your happiness lies within yourself in the internal world.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can give you any circumstances you want, but that will be temporary. I used to say, because I moved to the Netherlands 20 years ago, before that I was living in the States and in Turkey. When I moved there, I didn't choose to move there, so I was really unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And each time I thought, okay, if I buy that house, I will be very happy. If I buy that car, I will be very happy. At least I know why I'm working here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always thinking about those things. And then I was buying the house. The first couple of months, it was like, oh, so nice, this. 3 months later, I was crying again. I was buying the car and I was like, oh, yeah, fancy car, this and that. 6 months later, it becomes your normal. You see it every day, it becomes your standard.
It's
And
true.
then you start becoming miserable again. And those days were also very good examples of my today,
Mm-hmm.
because now I don't search for it outside, I search for it inside me.
You just hit it. You just hit it right there. Because when we buy something material, we'll be happy for 1 week, 2 week, 1 month maybe, and that happiness is gone. But when you have a
Yes,
happiness that's eternal, something that will stay forever, that's which is inside of us. When we make our soul our priority, we give it happiness and we make it our priority. Like I can buy a nice car, I can buy a nice house, I can buy a nice bike, I can buy everything, but I will. That's just for my ego to make my ego. Yes, I've got it.
exactly,
But
exactly.
the ego is not everything. It's the soul, the seed of the soul. We need to nourish.
That's why you should read the book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
I will
This is
for sure.
exactly about this, because this monk
Mm-hmm.
used to be a lawyer, very successful lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
That's his own life story, by the way.
Okay.
So he had it all figured out. He was making millions. He
Mm-hmm.
was driving a Ferrari, very luxurious life. But in the meantime, he was working his butt off. He was working very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And one day he had a heart attack and he was hospitalized. And after this happened to him, yeah,
So hello again. So here with the Ali Dose of Inspiration, and we'll carry on after this short break. And thank you very much again, Fusion Reinhardt. Did I say that right? Fusion?
Füssen Reinhardt, yeah, Füssen Reinhardt.
Fusion Reinhardt. And that story that you were sharing with me about hope, about what's going on, and you were mentioning about the book that when I mentioned the seed of the soul, you mentioned some
Yes,
Robin Sham.
Sharma, yes. So the book of Robin, one of the books of Robin Sharma is called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
And in this book, he tells about his own life story. As a lawyer, he's working very hard. He has it all figured out. He has 9-figure income, I think not even 6. He's driving a Ferrari. He has a beautiful home, luxury lifestyle. But
Mm-hmm.
because he's working day and night very hard to make that happen, one day he has a heart attack. So
Okay.
he hits the ground. And after that heart attack, he's hospitalized and he disappears. Nobody knows where he goes.
Okay.
So he goes to the Himalayas and he meets the saints and he's taken to this special area, top of the mountains, hidden, whereby nobody knows how to get there. And he goes through some, let's say, spiritual training there.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts finding himself back.
Okay.
So his health style changes, his eating habits changes. He starts having different rituals than the Western world, and all those kind of things. And a couple of years later, he comes back. And when he comes back as a complete new person, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But when he walks in to the office of his partner cannot even recognize him
It was
because
totally
he
different.
looks 10 years younger. His skin changes, everything changes with him. And
Wow.
then his partner says, oh my God, what happened to you? And he starts telling his story by giving some sort of recipes, like
Mm-hmm.
life recipes.
Okay.
So it's really a very nice book about change, about hope, and being motivated to do things, and that success doesn't lie in money or in a career only, or fame or luxury or whatsoever. So
So,
that's really a very beautiful story.
so that seems like he found him. He found his calling. He found his purpose. He found his happiness.
With a heart attack.
Heart attack. It's amazing how like shake when we get shaked in life,
Yes,
we wake up.
because sometimes we need that. I mean, like, there are many people, also coaches. Coaches are trying to work hard as well. Entrepreneurs try to work hard because they are their own boss. But sometimes we forget to listen to our body. Sometimes we forget to listen to our inner voice, because there is something that communicates with us in there. What happens at the end of the story, if you are not listening, they make you listen, then you become sick. Like, I experienced this several times in the past. I was working in corporate, I was giving workshops at the weekends, in the evenings I was doing coaching. So I was 7/24 busy, having a family, a small child, a dog, big house, everything.
Okay.
And because I wasn't listening, they made me sick for 1 week. And I was so sick, I couldn't even raise my hand.
Wow.
And I said, if you don't listen, they will make sure you listen.
Okay.
We need to listen sometimes. We need to have inner speak with ourselves.
I think life, or with the society, with this programming that we get from school, we get from everything. It's about competition. It's about I need to do more. I need to be better than that. I want to be. If I have one house, I need two houses. If I have one car, I need to have two cars. So we become in that circle that's just running like a hamster, run till you fall. You almost die, or maybe you might die and you never come back. And if you are lucky and back, you realize that, oh my God, what I'm doing. I need, and you take maybe 1 week, like that Robin, he went like to the Himalaya and he found himself. And we relax and we start to breathe normally, we start to eat normally, we start to see things around us. But before, you just like work. If you start at 8, you come at 5, you eat, you go to sleep, and you do it again. And when the weekend come, you just go grocery, clean up, and it just keep going.
Yeah, it's a never-ending story. Yeah,
It's a
it's
never
just
ending
a
story. And
rat race.
the soul need that vibration, need that energy, need that to focus on one thing. And
Sometimes we need to reset.
here we go. We need to reflect and we need to see, because there is a proverb, I don't know who said that, but he said, earth, the earth have music for those who listen.
Correct.
Earth
That's
have
true.
music for those who listen. Because sometimes you just like, you shut everything down and you just listen with not with your ear.
That's why daily meditations are really very helpful.
You listen with your heart, or you think with your heart. And when you do that, you see the unseen and you hear the unheard voices.
Correct.
And that's
Correct.
it's about like when the soul is happy, when the mind is clear, when you have the serenity and you have the connection with yourself, everything seems like you become like so happy, you become some wise. How many times like you walk and you see some people like they are just like so calm and so relaxed, and they don't worry the little stuff. They just like they have
That's Robin Sharma. Follow him.
like they live their own peace. They don't care about the chaos that's going on because they have their routine. They have their.
That's called the flow. So you
Oh,
are in a flow state. You
here
are
we go.
flowing with life.
Exactly. They don't let anything to entrap that. That's amazing. Thank you for bringing that, Robin Sharma. For that, I will definitely look him up and I will look his book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Definitely,
Yes,
I will
correct.
read and read it. And for what's some the advice, I know probably you've been doing your business for coaching for a long. You are a mindset coach, and probably you see so many stories, you see so many cases, so many clients. And I want you to leave something with my audience to advise them or give them some nugget, some golden nugget to so they can.
Some golden nuggets. Yeah, I would say what Les Brown says, all is possible. and there is greatness in you. We all have it. We just need to tap into that. And there is always hope. There's always hope for better. Don't get stuck. Don't think that you are stuck in where you are. If you want to do something, you need to take action. You need to take the first step. Taking one step forward is better than not taking any step at all.
That's very important. Taking the action, taking the step. And when you start that first step, the second step will come. And when the second comes,
absolutely.
It's
and for the comfort zone, I will also again quote something from Tony Robbins. I love this one. He says that if you want to get the island, you need to burn the boat.
I like that. If you want to go to the island,
get the island, you need to burn the boat, because if you don't burn the boat, you will always have the safety of the boat.
To burn the bridge. Yeah, because you will always have that, like, oh, I have that bridge, maybe I can go back, maybe not. But when you don't have that bridge, like, you have no choice. You have to get to that island no matter what.
Exactly. And again, like I said in the beginning, if things don't work, so what? Try something else.
Be flexible. Change the strategy. And yes. Was it Thomas Edison that was trying to who invented the light bulb? How many times he tried? Was it like 999 or something? When you try, yes. try, and when they asked him why you keep trying, he said, I didn't fail. I just like those that I tried didn't work. I have to try different one. So yes. that's the attitude. It's just like you have a mindset, you have a good attitude. And some people, they have like a stinky bad attitude. Just like a flat tire. When you have a flat tire, you can't drive anywhere. You just like driving the car, just like
yes, correct.
Going nowhere. And that's the way we should be. And those golden nugget that Fusion gave us, a mindset coach, are amazing, because action, everything is in the action, everything in the first step, and we have to do that step. We have to do the work. And when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Yes,
but the job of the teacher is to light the way, to facilitate the learning, but the student have to walk the path.
And that's why on my website it's written, give light and they will find the way.
There we go. Give light and they will follow the way, because light is everything, and we should be all a dose of inspiration, a light for darkness for people. We should be all that hope. We should be all that inspiration, because the world is full of darkness. The world is full of fear. The world is full of worry. And we need people who are leading by example, by giving, by not just like not critic. Everyone can critic, but people don't want to hear critic. They want to lend them a hand, give them a word of encouragement.
Yes.
Give them some
give
hope.
Them a hand.
There we go. Give them a hand. And that's the thing. Thank you very much, my friend Fusion, for this amazing
my pleasure
podcast. I learned so much from you, and definitely I'm going to look for this guy here. And you said he's here in Canada. I'm definitely going to
yes, absolutely,
to find his book, and I'm going to contact him. And thank you again. And
you're welcome.
You can share your information, like your business, so people, if you want to follow, if you have like a website.
Yeah, I can tell them my website, so it's hopefully very easy. lifehealingacademy.com. lifehealingacademy.com. Wow. So I'm healing the lives of others. That's why I call it lifehealingacademy.com.
Okay.
And I can help people heal their emotions, their negative thinking, get over their fears. And recently I have a program called Self-Confidence Secrets, and that's specialized for female entrepreneurs to boost their self-confidence, or people who are willing to start for themselves, but they are scared, again, to boost their self-confidence. And I'm running that program only for women. The new one is starting in October. So if there are any female entrepreneurs out there who are sort of hesitating, or they want to thrive, they want to do more, they want to be successful, but they have some worries and emotional pain or whatsoever. I encourage those female entrepreneurs with my special methods, and I'm boosting their self-confidence. So
Excellent.
that's
Share that with me, send it to me, and I will definitely put it at the end of this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend, and it was a pleasure.
Thanks a lot for your time as well. Thanks for inviting.
Have a wonderful day. Take care, my friend.
You too.